Sean, you obviously is a bit tough now. Where does it leave Edinburgh, and what is the plan for the rest of the season?
Yeah, well, it's going to be, we got to understand that the chances of qualifying now are probably gone. So we've got a lot of work to do with the youngsters that are coming through. But we are fighters, and we're going to play the best we can every weekend.
Yeah, but you say for the youngsters, I mean, do you put them in for the rest of the season? Do you keep the other guys around?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that we've been doing that throughout the season anyway. We've used 48 players in this competition, and we only got 43 on our senior books. So there's a lot of youngsters that have had opportunity. But yeah, we've got four games in the URC, and we've got a Champions Cup game next week against Leinster away. And that will be our focus.
Yeah. Sean, you spoke about focusing on Leinster. What is it going to take to beat them and stay in a competition?
Well, we know that next week we're probably playing Ireland because they will have all their players back. One thing we have as well is international quality players, and you saw that tonight. I thought Ewan Ashman was outstanding at hooker, and Pierre did really well, as did Boan Fenter. We will be getting one or two players back from injury next week. And for us, it's about obviously not only containing them, but making the best that we can out of their line speed. They do come aggressively now under Jacques. And so the Stormers was a good training for us because they do the same. We're definitely not going to throw away this season. We want to build on certain aspects of our game and improve in certain areas, and that doesn't mean that we're going to change selection policy. We're going to do as best as we can for our city, and that's what counts. The youngsters are getting game time as it is, and that's been forced due to injury. So we'll still be picking the best team that we can pick. Like I said, we're getting some guys back next week, and we'll always pick our strongest team. Yeah, we could be getting a guy like Ben Muncaster back next week. Darcy Raid, tight head, should be back next week. And I think that would probably be it. Yeah, it's tough because it was one of our goals to achieve top 8 and play in the Champions Cup again. So yeah, we are disappointed with that. We've struggled in depth in certain positions. Like I said earlier, we used 48 players this season. My understanding of competitions, and I'll go back to Super Rugby, that if you use over 34, it's going to be a really difficult season. So I think that's the injuries are frustrating, but at the end of the day, you can't control that. So the beauty of this whole thing is that we were able to develop some really good young talent. Liam McConnell and Freddie Douglas got man of the matches in certain, in those Champions Cup games. I mean, that's amazing. Young Ollie Blythe Lafferty has had 11 URC games at the age of 19 at tight head. So there are positives for Scotland rugby going forward.